Hey, it's Joe, and welcome to Raw Awakening. And I want to tell you a little bit about my passion for Raw Awakening, why I'm so passionate about it. So I've been very fortunate in my life in that I have led so many lifetimes, it's unreal. From being in gangs, to being in academia, to being in banking, to being embroiled in hippiedom, to being a musician, to being a traveler, and many other things in between. But the two things in my life that keep coming back and in fact grow stronger and stronger is fruit and awakening. And it may be selfish in some ways, but my passion is to bring them together. I want to enliven people who are into the fruitarian lifestyle into a spiritual awakening path that's guaranteed. And I also want to attract anybody that's into this guaranteed path of awakening into the benefits of a fruit lifestyle. And for a few years in Thailand, I've been running a fruit house where people come and stay. And they come and stay for the fruit, right? They come for the fruit, but then they discover while they're at the house that there is this awakening dialogue, these spontaneous satsangs that occur. And people leave with a greater sense of spiritual awakening, as well as a stronger sense of their ability to be raw. And it's been a very interesting journey because regarding the raw food, it's been my weakest strength by far, is to consistently eat in a way that's beneficial for my body. I came into this planet completely debilitated in that area. Well, I became debilitated in that area. And yet my strongest strength is awakening. So it's like my biggest weakness and my strongest strength are united in raw awakening. And what's happening is that it's elevating my ability to be raw. And this is a beautiful thing. So when people come to the house, they learn about fruit and a fruit-based lifestyle, and they feel very relaxed because I am no raw food guru. I'm often the worst in the house at maintaining the plan. But somehow it makes people feel comfortable that there's someone worse than them, and then they start behaving like experts. It almost empowers them to flourish. And in the meantime, I can support their own awakening. So it really is the most beautiful subjects. In fact, in some of the Buddhist teachings, they call awakening the fruition. And I think that's a great name, the fruition. So if you're someone that's interested in a fruit-based lifestyle and you're already having fun with that, imagine what it's like when you layer on top a fruition of awakened mind. Because here are some of the facts. People who eat fruit still have problems in their life. You may have never had a craving ever. You may have just shown up, found fruit, watched some of Doug's videos or some of anyone's videos and got into the fruit-based lifestyle and found it easy. And there you are. And now what? Right? You can still bump into life. Life doesn't stop shoving itself at you because you're eating bananas. It sure makes it better. It makes your body more robust. It opens your chakras and it clears your mind. But you can still find yourself in a cul-de-sac or a dead end sometimes. And if you combine the fruition of awakening to the fruition of your diet, what you have here is the most powerful rendition of a human being that can exist, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. So I'm very powerful in my awakening presence and established my stability in that area because I've tested it over years in very arduous situations that I've been put into or found myself into. And I've rode through them with a sense of equanimity and calm and love for all that has remained undiminished. And now that opening into goodness, that opening into the recognition of natural mind is putting its wonderful love into my personal fruit journey. You see, I may look like the slow coach in the gang, but I should not even be alive. The ferocity of my addiction is such that I'm on the list for early checkout. But this awakening has not only soothed me and protected me from the suffering of not being able to eat the way I want to, despite years and years and years of relentless efforting. It's protected me from that. It's now empowering me to do that very same thing. So I'm now having moments where I'm raw for 3 days. I'm on fruit for a few days here. I have 2 fruit meals and 1 cooked one. The fact is that I have harmed my body over the years, so it's going to take some more time for how I'm eating now to become reflected in how I look. But I see the opening. I see the opening even if nobody else does. In very small things that to most people seem completely ridiculous, but to me are humongous triumphs. For instance, I have to get my visa re-stamped every 90 days. And every time I go to that immigration office in Thailand, in Chiang Mai, I break whatever program I'm doing because they have a massive supermarket there and I have a 4-hour wait. And I go in there and I don't eat bad food. It's always vegan. I have bread and hummus, grains and hummus. But it's where my body is, that's already too much. And recently, for the first time, I went there and I just stayed fruitarian the whole time. I was able to relax into my natural power as an already awakened being, which we all are, and allow the flow of whatever's going on to be as it is. And in that way, you alchemize its power for your own benefit, for the good of all. And that's what this is about. That's what Raw Awakening is about. Is bringing together the power of fruit to support your physical, spiritual, and life journey, and the planet as well, and everything else is beneficial for getting back to that realness and exposing parts of you which need to be brought to the light. And then the awakening training, which allows you to clarify that, so you remain stable even when you're eating fruit, because fruit can take you to such a high vibration that you just have to get off. You just have to get off. Well, what happens with the awakening training is it lifts you up to the point where you're able to maintain that vibration. Your mental faculties and your understanding of the universe is also operating at that level. It's also operating at that same frequency. That's why they call it the fruition. And that's what we're going to be talking about here. And I'm so excited and I'm so happy to have you here. And yes, the fruit, and yes, the fruition, and yes, let's all enjoy a raw awakening. I'll see you in the next video.